with meteorologist Erika Delgado.
All right, South Florida temperatures are on the rise, and a lot of us have been reaching now mid to upper 80s because we've seen some dry time, even though some of us have been seeing some showers since late this morning. 83 in Key West, Marathon, and 84 in Key Largo. Temperatures already at 86 in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale. 85 right now, West Palm Beach. Humidity is high. It's feeling like the 90s across South Florida. Feels like temperature at 91 in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and in Key West. Feeling like the upper 80s as we work our way through the Middle Keys. The Florida Keys have been dry, enjoying quiet conditions. Not the case for Miami-Dade and Broward. We've seen a few showers developing, but at least this thunderstorm activity that we're seeing on our screen here is sitting off the coast here and doesn't look like it's going to be moving closer to Palm Beach. Good news there. It might just meander for a while over the Atlantic. Let's start in Broward County. We do have some downpours across areas like Fort Lauderdale, Lauderdale Lakes, and Oakland Park. All of this is drifting towards the south, skirting Lauderdale by the sea, and likely moving into Pompano Beach shortly. Heading into southern Miami-Dade, we saw some thunderstorms at the beginning of the hour. Now just some downpours. Most of it's now sitting west of the metro, but some showers are still hovering over portions of Kendall Lakes. Even some isolated shower activity near Medley and some showers near Richmond Heights. But the rest of South Florida for now looking quiet, so not too terrible. But have that rain gear with you, especially if you find yourself maybe commuting later this afternoon, because that's when we're expecting thunderstorms to kick up. Now you'll notice this darker green along the immediate east coast of Florida. That's an elevated risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms later today, and South Florida is included in that. So we are expecting scattered storms with the possibility of strong wind gusts, hail, and as we're all very familiar with any severe storm, you can never rule out a brief tornado. Heading into Tuesday, the front that's been nearby begins to lift away from the area, so overall we're drier. Not completely dry. We could still see some isolated showers on Tuesday, but a big improvement compared to yesterday and today. And then finally, that front lifts out of the area as high pressure tries to nudge in here. So we'll shift our focus from storms to steamy conditions because it will be all about the higher temperatures. Boating forecast for Miami-Dade and Broward looking pretty good for now until thunderstorms begin to develop and then eventually push offshore. So no advisories, seas 2 feet or less, Biscayne Bay a light chop. Heading into the Florida Keys, coastal waters a light chop, seas beyond the reef at most building 1 to 2 feet. Down in the Keys, it is nice. We are dry and conditions offshore are looking pretty good. We just had our low tides this morning. That means high tide is coming up next, beginning in Fort Lauderdale at 3:51. 4:20 p.m. in Miami. Key West, your high tide will be at 5:43 this afternoon. So steamy sunshine will eventually give way to afternoon storms overall and settled once again this afternoon. And some of that could linger into the evening. So we'll leave that chance early on, and then that should clear out overnight. But there's still going to be a lot of moisture in the air and light winds. We could see some patchy fog developing across the area heading into Tuesday morning. Again, we're drier, but not completely dry Tuesday. Wednesday through Friday looking nice. We're warm, but at least we're dry. And then it looks like we'll reintroduce a chance for thunderstorms for Mother's Day weekend. That's your 7 on 10 forecast.
7 weather with meteorologist Erika Delgado.
All right, South Florida steamy conditions. Temperatures are now reaching to the upper 80s. We're at 89 in Pembroke Pines, 86 in Fort Lauderdale as well as in Miami, 84 Pompano Beach. 83 down in Key West. The only thing these warm temperatures do are add fuel to the fire. So as thunderstorms develop, this is going to help them grow in size and for more of them to develop. Right now we have winds mostly out of the south-southeast, anywhere between 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we're starting to see more activity develop across our mainland areas. Florida Keys, you're in the clear so far. We haven't seen any shower or thunderstorm activity there. Lots of thunderstorms sitting off of the Palm Beach coastline where a marine warning was issued until 1 o'clock. So just for a few more minutes here. And you can see the showers continuing to develop over the same areas, but slowly drifting from south to north as we go about into the afternoon. Scattered to at times widespread showers and storms return to the forecast, with now once again an elevated risk for some severe thunderstorms. And it's this darker shade of green. And actually, as I'm saying this now, they just updated this from earlier this hour. You see this yellow. Well, now we're at a level 3 out of 6, which is even higher risk for severe thunderstorms. So now conditions are looking a bit more conducive for those thunderstorms to develop. Again, hail, strong wind gusts, and as we're very familiar with, a funnel cloud, and of course brief tornado cannot be ruled out, especially these yellow shaded areas here, which take you all the way through the Atlantic coast from central Florida all the way down into Broward and Miami-Dade into the Florida Keys. You're not in that area, but again, wind gusts, very strong ones at that. Hail and also a quick tornado will be possible, especially along these yellow shaded areas here that you see, and that does include metro areas of Miami-Dade and Broward County. Taking a look hour by hour as we go through the afternoon. You can see all that developing and then favoring the East Coast. It'll be ongoing like we saw yesterday. Some spots may not see a whole lot, but some spots will continue to see it, which will lead to flood potential across South Florida. No advisories for boaters, but as storms develop, you want to stay off the water. Seas beyond the reef across the Florida Keys, 1 to 2 feet, with coastal waters a light chop. And we do have a high tide beginning at 3:51 this afternoon in the Fort Lauderdale area. Steamy sunshine, it's adding fuel to the fire. Temperatures are already in the upper 80s for some afternoon storms, so expect that. Have that rain gear with you and pack the patience as you go about your afternoon commute later today. Some of those showers and storms could linger into the early evening before things begin to quiet down. Overnight, we could see patchy fog developing. We are drier tomorrow, but a few isolated showers will still be possible. Then toasty temperatures for the second half of the work week. That's your 7 on 10 forecast.